Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is ZillaFan85 back today with my latest video, doing a figure review here. Today, as you guys can see, we're going to go ahead and take a look at my Bandai 1975 Godzilla. This one I was actually definitely looking forward to. I think Bandai did an absolutely fantastic job recreating the 75 Godzilla. This, of course, is among my favorite Godzilla designs of all time. I know when I ranked like my top 5 Godzilla designs, I coupled this in with the 74, which, you know, in hindsight is not really accurate because this design was tweaked a little bit from the 74 and actually, to me, looks better than the 1974 Godzilla because they gave him more of a meaner, you know, more menacing look, which I really do appreciate. So, you know, certainly one of the finer details of the 75 Godzilla. So I was definitely super happy to get hold of this guy. You know, really, you know, it was a great addition to my collection. And you know, it is a bit of a rare figure, but definitely worth adding if you're interested. So let's go ahead though and jump into it. Obviously, again, the set in the 1975 Godzilla, which was, of course, from the film of that year, Terror of MechaGodzilla. So that was this incarnation in and of itself. So starting with the figure review, we'll first start with the tag that this guy comes with, and that is this little card right here, tag, card, whatever you want to call it. Nicely done, trying to capture, I know the light's glaring a little bit, but I want to try to make sure to have the light on here just so that the just so that everything's in view a little bit better. But you can see though the 1975 Godzilla 1975, of course the Bandai, you know, movie image of this particular Godzilla right there. Nothing on the back of the card here. This figure was part of a double set that came with the Bandai Titanosaurus figure. That Titanosaurus was a revamped one over the older Titanosaurus that Bandai had released. I don't have that particular Titanosaurus that came with this Godzilla. I have the older model, but nonetheless, though, I'm happy with the one that I have, and I just really wanted to get this Godzilla. So there's the tag one more time. And now going ahead and jumping into the figure review itself here, starting with the paint in the detail. So again, Godzilla, the signature charcoalish color skin that he's got there. It looks really good. I think they did a nice job capturing it with the figure. They've got the contrasting the very silverish dorsal spines on his back there. Got all the rows, and it was kind of sprayed on because you guys can see it's kind of a flat silver that kind of covers in the whole area of the spines, and then like the sort of skin area in between the spines. So not the best overall when they do stuff like that. It is a little bit more simplistic, but a lot of times with these vinyl figures you do get stuff like that though. So I mean, it is what it is, but you know, it's not too bad. It doesn't really detract too much. With that silverish paint though, at least down the middle row of the dorsal spines goes onto the tail to taper on there, and then of course you got more of that charcoalish color for the outer spines on the tail, which is again probably not really accurate, but still looks okay nonetheless. Contrasting the charcoalish skin too, you've got these sort of greenish highlights. You've got it on his forehead here, on his like chest and abdomen area, this little line there, and of course you got it on the kneecaps as well. You guys can see those highlights. I mean, it adds a little touch of detail. Again, not something that I really know is movie accurate, but is what it is. The finger claws and toe claws are just like a very doled out silver, so they do actually contrast a little bit to the charcoalish color to the skin. It looks pretty similar, but you guys can see it's almost like a very doled out silver, even almost like a gunmetal black color for the claws. as you guys can kind of see, but it does contrast a little bit, so at least it adds, you know, that touch there. And then, of course, the eyes, very famous for this Godzilla, done with the, got the white around the eyes, and of course the black pupils and little white dots towards the center of the eyes, really good. They got the white done for the teeth inside the mouth, just kind of painted in there, and then of course painted on the red tongue, and a little bit of a deep red on the inside of the mouth as well. Trying to see if you guys can pick that up. Not too bad looking. Of course, again with this 75 Godzilla, they really did a nice job capturing that mean, menacing look that he had, you know. Because out of the 3 versions of the MechaGodzilla, which is basically what this one is, they just kind of changed it up. The 73 was really noted as the MechaGodzilla Megalon one. And the 74, kind of the MechaGodzilla. And then the 75 is, I believe, the MechaGodzilla, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if they kind of differentiate. But they all kind of go from the base MechaGodzilla design. But to me, that 73 design I'm not crazy about. The way that they fixed it up for the 74 and even more so for the 75 just looks a million times better, in my opinion anyway. So I really like the way that they did the face here and the kind of drooping jaw that they gave him. Really looks cool. It's got that, the way that the arms are sculpted, that nice sort of battle ready pose that he's in. Got the nice scaling on his body here, as you guys can see all around him. You know, and it's got some texturing on it, so feels definitely feels rough to the touch. There. Got some detail work on the neck there. Again, the chest area and abdomen. Of course, you got the segments and scales along the tail. This looks pretty good. And of course, you can see the underside with that sort of smoother texturing there on the underside of his, on the bottom side of his tail, I should say. And of course, on the bottom of his feet, you got the trademark. The see if the camera picks that up there. Trademark 1975 Toho, and then Bandai, made in China. So you guys can see all that there. And again, looks really good. You got some detail work on the spines as well, so that they're not just a flat looking design. They've actually got some bumps and grooves on them. Not very sharp to the touch, but again, most cases vinyl figures aren't usually. So, but it still looks good and really does get the job done well, I think. That pretty much covers it for the paint and the detail work here on this figure. So now we'll go ahead and take a look at the articulation. So he's, again, it's a Bandai vinyl, very basic, so you guys got to keep that in mind. You're not going to get Monster Arts or NECA level articulation with these figures, but it's basic, gets the job done. So the head can rotate, and that can go all the way around, as you guys can see. Arms can also rotate and go all the way around, but you do need to kind of pull them out a little bit, because otherwise they'll rub against the side of his skin there. Same thing on the other side. And then the feet can rotate all the way around, but again, sort of starts to rub up with the tail a little bit. So, as you guys can see when I'm rotating it, so do be mindful of that. But you get those 5 points. There's, I believe, a glue seal in the tail. I believe so, anyway. Yeah, I think right there is a glue seal. I'm not going to break it. I don't like breaking glue seals. So, so for this guy, you get those 5 points of articulation. Again, very basic, but gets the job done. And to me, you know, the sculpt work, the way that this was sculpted, really is where it, you know, really where it captures that 75 design. And I absolutely love this figure. So, so that covers it for the paint and detail and the articulation. Otherwise, for sizing, this is a Bandai, you know, 6-inch figure, so it's in that scale range. It will look good with your 6 to 7-inch figures. So I did bust out my Titanosaurus figure that I have, just to kind of give you a little bit of a size comparison. Now, the one that was re-released for the set that this guy came with, it's the same size, it's just in a different paint scheme. It's got like it's got like darker paint colors than this one has. You know, but this one is actually, I believe, more of a rare figure nowadays. But nonetheless, though, this is the one that I have, and I definitely love this Titanosaurus. So you guys can see them next to each other, and that's pretty darn accurate, honestly, because Titanosaurus was a little bit taller than Godzilla, maybe even a little bigger than this. You know, obviously the main thing making the height difference here is that fin. But I do believe Titanosaurus was maybe even more like that, because I know he was bigger than Godzilla. So, nonetheless, though, they do look really good together. Otherwise, definitely a nice, awesome combo on the shelf here. I don't have the, you know, the 1975 incarnation of MechaGodzilla. I have the 1974 one. I now have the, you know, the Monster Arts version, which is roughly in the 6-inch range. You know, I'm not gonna get that one out though for now. I mean, it's similar to the 75, but still, it's a figure I haven't reviewed yet, so kind of hold off on bringing it out for the time being anyway. But you guys definitely get the gist of it here. So again, this is a pretty rare figure. Times that I've seen it go for, I mean, I don't know what the initial market value was of the figure, but like, from what I've seen it go for, and kind of in the range that I paid for it, was you're looking at, I would say $100 to $150 for this guy, just because it is rare, and especially so, you know, if you get the if it comes with the tag. So that's another key thing to note. Obviously with my figures, like I've always said, I don't keep the tags on there. I detach them, but then I keep them as sort of collectible cards. But nonetheless, though, still a very, very nice figure. If you're in the market and you've got the funds to spend, again, it will cost you a bit, but I think Bandai definitely knocked it out of the park here, and I do recommend it. There is a memorial box version, the 50th anniversary memorial box, but that one I think is done in more of a greenish color. I prefer to have it in, you know, more movie accurate color scheme. So, but otherwise, I do think that pretty much covers it for this video, though, folks. I would definitely like to thank you so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. And just remember, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.